Hello dear grade 6 students and welcome to this new video. Today we are going to see revision to Grammar Module 3, 4 and 5. As usual, let's have a look at our learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able first to recall grammatical structures and communicative language functions. Number 2, you are going to use grammatical structures and communicative language functions in speaking and writing. Let's begin our revision with number 1, object pronouns. Have a look at sentence number 1. Hamad is my best friend. I first met Hamad at school. What do you notice here? Great, there is a repetition of Hamad here and Hamad in the second part of the sentence. So, how can we avoid this repetition? Let's see. Hamad is my best friend. I first met blank at school. Very good. I first met him at school. Sentence number 2. This is Fatima. I love Fatima because she is kind. What do you notice in this sentence also? Very good. There is a repetition of Fatima in the first part as well as in the second part. So we could avoid this repetition by saying, this is Fatima. I love her because she is kind. So Hamad can be interchanged with subject pronoun he, as it is a subject in the sentence. So he becomes him. In the second sentence, Fatima can be interchangeable with the subject she, and she becomes her. As you can see here, we have two columns. In number 1, we have subject pronouns, and there is one corresponding pronoun which is called object pronoun. So the second list are object pronouns: me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. Let's have a short practice. Practice number 1. Choose the correct answer. Sentence 1. Salah is visiting me. I will play with he, her, him, or she video games. Note here that Salah is the subject of the sentence, so the subject pronoun is he. Excellent. I will play with him video games. Sentence number 2. Parrots are not dangerous, but many people dislike. They dislike them, dislike me, or dislike us. Very good. The subject is parrots, and parrots coincides with they. Very good. People dislike them. Good job. Our second grammar point for today is the imperative. In picture number 1, be quiet. Picture number 2, get out of here. Picture 3, don't make noise. Picture 4, don't eat and drink in class. Let's have a look at our sentences. Be quiet. Get out of here. Very good. Both sentences started with the verb. There is no subject. So the imperative form is composed of a verb in its base form plus a complement. However, in the second part, the two sentences start with don't plus verb. Don't eat, don't make. And the rule here is don't plus base form of the verb. Now it's time for practice. Do as shown between brackets. Sentence number 1. You mustn't stretch out to get salt or pepper. Here, between brackets, we have change into the imperative form. And in all the sentences, we are going to change into the imperative. Let's do number 1 as an example together. So the sentence, you mustn't stretch out. Here, we have to start the sentence with the verb, or don't plus verb. Let's see. Don't stretch out to get salt or pepper. It's easy. We remove mustn't, we remove also the subject you, and we start the sentence with don't plus the verb stretch out. Who can do example number 2? Very good. You should ask someone to pass them to you. Yes, ask someone to pass them to you. We start with the verb ask, without any subject and without the modal should. Anyone for sentence 3? Excellent. You mustn't put your elbows on the table becomes don't put your elbows on the table. Sentence number 4. You must put your arms on your laps. Anyone to do it? Great. Put your arms on your laps. Great job, guys. Our third point in grammar is giving advice. Let's have some examples. Look at the girl. What's the matter with her? What's the matter with Jane? She has got fever. She should see a doctor. Here we are advising her to see a doctor, so she should see a doctor. This is the affirmative form of the advice. So first of all, we have she, which is the subject, then should, modal should. After that come the base form of the verb, and of course, without any suffix, no s, no ed, or ing. So we shouldn't put any suffix in the verb. The verb must be in the base form. So in giving advice, let's have a look at this picture. What's wrong with Tom? Yes, he has got a runny nose. He shouldn't go to school. He shouldn't go to school. This is the negative form in the advice. So here we have used not. So first of all, as usual, as the affirmative form, we have the subject, then shouldn't instead of should, plus base form of the verb, and of course not any suffix s or ed or ing for the verb. Practice 3. Choose the correct answer. Sentence 1. Hamad has got a headache, or Hamad has a headache. He can't, he lets, he should or he shouldn't take tablets. Can I have a volunteer to do it? Yes, great. He has a headache, so he should take a tablet. Excellent. Number 2, the players have a match. They have eat before it, or they shouldn't eat before it, or they should or they let's eat before it. Good job. He have or they have a match, so they shouldn't eat before it. Good job. Great. Next grammar point is obligation with have to and lack of obligation with don't or doesn't have to. Look at the picture and the sentence or the question here. What does Eddie have to do? The answer is he has to wake up early. He has to wake up early. Number 2, does Tom have to go to work? No, he doesn't have to go to work. No, he doesn't have to go to work. So here we have the affirmative form, the negative form, and the interrogative form, both with WH questions and yes/no questions. So the affirmative and the negative form, the rule is subject in both, then we either have has to or have to for the affirmative, and in the negative we will have don't or doesn't have to. After that comes the base form of the verb as usual, have to here, and doesn't have to, we have to. And of course, we don't or we shouldn't or we mustn't put any suffix for the verb. In the interrogative form of have to, we have two examples. Number one will be a yes/no question. Does Tom have to go to work? The answer is no, he doesn't. In number two, WH question, what do I have to do? The answer is I have to wake up early. So the rules: number one, yes/no questions. The questions must start with do or does plus subject plus have to plus base form of the verb, and of course without any suffix. For WH question, the sentence of course should start with the WH word, then do or does, then subject, after that have to, and base form of the verb without any suffix. Practice 4. Do as shown between brackets. Sentence 1. You between brackets has to brush your teeth every day. Correct the verb. Very good. You have to brush your teeth every day. Number 2. Tom doesn't tidy his room. Use have to. Please be careful, guys. Have to must be used before the verb. So, who can answer my question? Excellent. Tom doesn't have to tidy his room. Good job. Number 3. Yes, they have to pay extra money to get the car. Write a yes/no question. So here we have to ask the question of this answer, which is sentence number 3. Very good. Do they have to pay extra money to get the car? Excellent. And last sentence, she has to write a complaint. Here we are asked to write a question using what? It means a WH question. And we are going to ask about what they are going to do or what they are going to write. Who can do it? Perfect. What does she have to write? What does she have to write? And the answer is she has to write a complaint. Good job, guys. Grammar point number 5 includes obligation with must, prohibition with mustn't, impossibility using can't. Let's start with the verb must. We use must to show obligation in the present or future. The obligation means when something is necessary. It shows internal obligation. The speaker feels that he or she or someone else is obliged to do something. It is followed by the base form of the verb. For example, I must repair the roof before winter comes. Example number 2, we use mustn't to show prohibition, that something is forbidden by law or rules. For example, you mustn't park your car here, otherwise you will be punished or you will get a fee. So it is forbidden by law to park here. So the rule of the obligation, we have subject plus must or mustn't plus base form of the verb, and of course when we say base form of the verb, there is no any suffix in the verb. For the verb can't, we use can't to show that you are not allowed to do something. It has nothing to do here with ability or inability. Can't here doesn't have anything to do with ability. For example, we can't use this equipment, it isn't ours. And number two, we can't go to the park now, it's dark outside. So here it is impossible to go. It doesn't mean that it is we are not able to do it. So the rule here is subject plus can't, of course, plus base form of the verb, and as usual there isn't any suffix. As a practice, we are going to choose the correct answer. We have two sets of questions. Number one, Hamad can, can't, must, or has to ride the roller coaster. He is still young. Note here we have he is still young. So the answer is he can't. Hamad can't ride the roller coaster. This is impossible. Who can do example number two? You can, will, must, or mustn't smoke here. It is strictly forbidden. Who can do it? Excellent. It is strictly forbidden. And this means that it is forbidden by law. So the right answer is, as you said, excellent. You mustn't smoke here. Good job. Question number two. Choose the correct answer also. Everyone can, can't, must, or mustn't fasten his seatbelt at takeoff. It means when the plane will take off, what should we do? So can, can't, must, or mustn't. Excellent. Everyone must fasten his seatbelt. Number two, students can, can't, must, or mustn't wear uniforms in the building. It's obligatory. Very good. It's important here. It's obligatory. It means there is a law or regulation. Students must wear the school uniform or uniforms in the building. Very good job. Number 6, our grammar point number 6 is describing people in the past and present. Let's have a look at this look box. We have, what did he look like then? And the answer is, he was short and chubby and he had long hair. Here the question is in the past and the answer is also in the past. We have was and had. On the other hand, what does he look like today? He is tall and slim. He has got short hair and he wears glasses. Here the question is in the past, or in the present, sorry, and the answer is in the present. He is, he has got, and he wears. Let's have a look at example number 1. What does this man look like? Here we are asking using does, it means in the present, and the man, he is tall and slim, is in the present, and we have the adjectives. Then he has got straight hair and he does not wear glasses, and all the verbs are in the present. On the other hand here, what did the man look like when he was young? Here the question is in the past, and when he was young is the phrase that indicates the past, and the answer will be he was tall and slim. Was, verb to be in the past, and then we have the adjectives, and the second part, and he had straight hair. He had straight hair. Very good. Practice 6 about description in the present and in the past. Choose the correct answer. Jack had or was, has or is tall and fat. He has curly hair. What tense should we use here and what verb should we use here? Very good. We have in the second part he has, and this is the present tense. And so in the first part of the sentence we should use the present tense. Where are the verbs in the present? Excellent. We have either has, which is C, or is, which is D. Can we say Jack has tall and fat? No, of course. Excellent. The answer is Jack is tall and fat. Number 2, I had chubby, I has a chubby, or I was chubby, or I is chubby when I was 2. It means when I was 2 years old. Excellent. When I was 2 indicates the past. So the answer is I was chubby. When we want to describe ourselves, we use the verb to be in the past. I was chubby when I was 2. Great job. The second set of questions, also we have to choose the correct answer. My father does or has or had or is long hair when he was young. Excellent. When he was young is about the past. And here my father. Could we say that my father has long hair in the past? No, of course. And my father had long hair. Good job, boys. Number 2, my best friend is slim and she had black straight hair, or she has black straight hair, or she was black straight hair, or she is black straight hair. Very good. Here the sentence is in the present. It is in the present. The verb to be is in the present, and we have to use also a verb in the present in the second part of the sentence. So the answer will be she has black straight hair. Good job. Excellent. You are great today. Point number 7 for today is ability and lack of ability in the past using could or couldn't. The verb could. We use could or couldn't to express ability you had or you didn't have in the past. Let's have this set of examples. We have the affirmative. For example, I could walk. The negative, I couldn't walk. We have simply added a not to model could. In the questions, it is also easy. We have a subject-verb inversion. The subject becomes in place of the model, and the model becomes in the place of the subject, as in this question. Could I walk? It was I could walk. Now, could I walk? And the answers are yes, I could, and if it is negative, no, I couldn't. We have here an example. What could you do when you were 6? Picture number 1, I and swim. Picture number 2, I rollerblade. But could he rollerblade when he was 6? Let's see. Perfect. I could swim, but I couldn't rollerblade when I was 6. Great job. Look at picture 1. Could Hamad ride a bike when he was 5? Great. Yes, he could. Picture 2. Could they practice ice skating when they were young? Excellent. No, they couldn't because they fell on the ground. Our practice now. Choose the correct answer. Jimmy can draw, can't draw, or could draw, or won't draw a cat when he was 5 years old. When he was 5 years old, it indicates the past. Great. So what is the answer? Very good. Jimmy could draw a cat when he was young. Could. Excellent. Number 2. Hamad and Ali couldn't swim, will swim, can swim, or cannot swim in deep water when they were young. When they were young. This indicates also the past. Very good. So the answer is Hamad and Ali couldn't swim in deep water when they were young. In the second practice, we have 2 sentences and we are going to do as shown between brackets. Sentence 1. Could you ride a horse when you were 3? Answer this question. And of course here we have to use the short answers. So the answer starts with no. Excellent. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. Very good. Number 2, could you read in English when you were 9? We have also to answer this question. But here the answer is positive, yes. Very good. Yes, I could. Perfect. Very good job today, guys. In the end, I would like to thank you all and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.